Hi vloggers, it's Kim. It's been a few days since I've checked in, so I wanted to just give you a quick update. Last week was a really difficult week for me because Monday and Tuesday I had no loss. Wednesday I had a small loss of like 0.6. And then Thursday and Friday I had no loss again. So I really wasn't sure what was going on. I did find it a little frustrating, but I just kept pressing through. I was looking for potential reasons that I could have been stalling. One thing I did read in a couple different places was that ovulation, not just having your menstrual cycle, but ovulation can also cause some issues in some women. So I don't know if I'm that sensitive or if that was the cause, but it was my ovulation week. So potentially maybe that was an issue, I'm not sure. So I ended up losing again finally on Saturday. I woke up with a 0.8 loss, and then today I woke up with a 1.40 loss. Now last night I did do a detox bath again, so that may have helped. Or maybe because I ovulated, I'm back on track. I'm not really sure. So I did have some questions for people who are seeing daily losses, even like in the second half of their HCG cycle. Like, one of the things I was curious about is when do you take your drops? Like I do mine twice a day, once in the morning before I leave for work, and then I do them again like 12 hours later. So usually, maybe even more than 12 hours later, like usually before bed, I'll do my second round of drops. So that was one question that I had for you, because I just wonder if that has anything to do with it or not. I don't think so, because I'm not like hungry or having any issues. I think I got the timing down pretty good, but when I first started, I wasn't doing them so far apart, and I was seeing more success, but that probably could have been because it was just early on in my cycle, and you know, it was the first week of doing the drops, and of course everyone has their most progress then. So the other thing I was curious about is like when you eat your last meal, do you try to make it 3 hours before bed? And do you try to get your fruits in before your last meal, or do you usually have a fruit as a snack? And does any of that, have you noticed how, if any of that might affect your weight loss from day to day? So just curious. I forgot to mention in my other vlogs that I am gluten insensitive. So this whole entire round, I didn't do the breadsticks or the Melba toasts or anything. I've left those out of my meals, and I just stick with the proteins, veggies, and fruits, and I always make sure I do get enough calories in too. So the other thing that I have been doing all along is the mineral chain triglyceride, the MCT oil. My doctor gave it to me and said that it was actually good to use during this HCG cycle, that she used it and she had losses, and it actually helps promote weight loss. I've done some research on it. I've seen different opinions on it. Obviously, it's not part of the original protocol, which I tried to stick to 100%. But I also feel like it hasn't hurt me, but it could have, again, been one of the reasons why I was slowing down last week. I'm not sure, but I had it yesterday twice. I used it in my salad, and then I also used it, what did I use it for? Oh, I sauteed some onions last night for dinner, and I used it in that too. I love sauteed onions, so I'm so glad I have it. So I was debating about whether I should continue to use it or not. It really has been a lifesaver for me, especially when it comes to like salad dressings and things like that. It helps me get all my veggies down. So I hate to give it up, but I also hate to continue if it's a problem. So I'm just wondering maybe if any of you use that oil or have any feedback about that as well. So I guess I'm full of questions. Anyway, I didn't say this in the beginning. Today is round 1, phase 2, VLCD number 23. I think it's 23. And to date, I am down 17.4 pounds. Woohoo! And I had a good problem on the way into work this morning. It's raining outside, and I'm wearing my regular pants, and they are so loose that they're actually hanging lower on me, so they're too long, and they drug on the ground, and the bottom of my pants are all wet now from walking into work. So I was like, well, I got a little irritated, but then I thought this is a great problem to have. I'd rather have loose pants that are wet than tight pants that are dry. So, ew. That sounded funny. Anyway, I hope you guys are all doing well, and if you have any feedback for me, please provide it. I am doing a 40-day cycle, and I really would love to lose 12.4 more pounds in the remainder of this cycle. Oh, I was going to also ask you about working out. Like, do you guys work out? Do you exercise? Is there a point where it's too much, not enough, or do you think you shouldn't do it at all? I think I mentioned before, I do yoga 3 days a week. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I do it on my lunch break for an hour. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays and on the weekends, I walk for about 20 to 30 minutes. And it's nothing like intense. It's just a real casual walk. So I don't know if I should do more, or if I should do less, or if I should just keep it where it is. So if you have any feedback in that regards, I would be very open to that as well. So thank you for your support. Thank you for following me. And if you're not already subscribed, feel free to do so. And I will keep updating you on this. And I will also be doing a second round of HCG. I was going to ask you guys, have any of you heard about the amino diet? If you go on Facebook and you go to Amino Diet, you'll find it. It's a company, they used to be the HCG to liquid diet, the homeopathic. And because the FDA ruled out some of the homeopathic HCG, they switched over to this amino diet. And it seems like it's showing just as much success with the people who are doing it as the HCG diet. They're losing on average like a pound a day. The protocol's kind of different. It's like 1,000 calories a day, kind of the same foods, but a little bit more of a selection. And you can have 1,000 calories a day, and you do drops like you do with HCG. And the one thing that I do like about it is if you are currently on HCG drops, if you wanted to transition into the amino diet, like without doing that stabilization phase at the end of your round, you can go right into the amino diet. You just have to build your calories back up for a couple days, and then you can go right into that. And that seemed kind of interesting to me. Now, I did ask my doctor to look at it to see what she thought about it, and she said the one thing she did notice is the amino diet doesn't use the abnormal fat stores like the liquid HCG diet does. So, you know, I don't know if that's a good thing, a bad thing, but maybe if we got all of our abnormal fat stores out of the HCG diet and then transitioned over to the liquid amino, maybe it would be helpful. I don't know. I just like the whole idea of not having to stop, because we're planning on doing IVF in like June this year, and I don't have a lot of time left to lose a lot of the weight that I want to lose before then, because I have to do things to prep for IVF. Like I have to go on DHEA, and I'm going to start taking my royal jelly again, and all these things that I don't know if they'll interfere with the amino diet, or I'm sorry, with the HCG diet. So I don't want to like risk that. So I didn't want to, you know, I want to be able to finish the HCG, go on to do the stuff to prep for IVF and do IVF. So anyway, I guess that's a long update. I'm sorry it's so long, but like I said, if you have any feedback for me, I appreciate it. Thanks again for following, and I hope you are all having great releases and good stabilizations. And I've been reading more about stabilization as I'm getting closer to approaching it, and I see it can be difficult sometimes. So I'm trying to educate myself on that phase of the cycle so that I'm prepared when I get there. Anyway, have a great day, everyone. Thanks for following.